Hello, this is QTV Nightly News coming to you from our studios on Caraba Avenue. Thanks for joining us here at the main news headlines. Following alerts about dust causing poor air quality in Kanifing Municipality and the West Coast region, public health authorities have issued preventive notices to the public, especially those with health issues. The China-Gambia Alumni Students Association was officially launched on Saturday to strengthen China-Gambia cooperation. Rosastou International School celebrated its speech and prize-giving ceremony on Saturday and dedicated the newly constructed daycare and nursery school block to the memory of a Gambian educationist. In international news, Senegal's President Macky Sall has announced the postponement of this month's presidential election. Also in international news, Namibia's president, 82-year-old Hage Geingob, died in the early hours of Sunday, weeks after he was diagnosed with cancer. Those were the headlines. Now the news in detail. This is QTV Nightly News and I am Andy Kema. Following alerts about dust causing poor air quality in Kanifing Municipality and the West Coast region, public health authorities have issued preventive notices to the public, especially those with health issues. Lena Igwenyiba speaks to the Director of Public Health Services about this development.
About 2 weeks ago, the Ministry of Health issued a public alert after dust and poor air quality alert were identified, particularly impacting areas including Bijilo, Bakote, Gunju and Birkama. Dr. Buba Manjang, the Director of Public Health Services, explains.
So what we do is we look at the air quality index. 0 to 50 is normal. It gives us indications and also data. And then 51 above is also moderate. But above that, like 101, 101 to 150 is unhealthy. So it gets to hazardous when 300 plus. So we tend to alert people, the population, to tell them, look, the air that you breathe in when you go out is unhealthy, is hazardous to your health.
Dr. Buba Manjang also explains the detrimental health effects of breathing polluted air.
It affects the lungs. The PM 2.5, when we inhale, it goes straight to your lungs and gets your bloodstream and causes lung problems. It can cause lung cancer and name it soon.
Director Manjang also highlights protective measures against the dust polluted air.
When information comes from the Ministry of Health, we need to take it very seriously. The advice that we give is when we give alerts, you know that it's hazardous, please put on your mask, please close your windows, please ensure you drink enough water and reduce excessive exercises. That encourages too much of breathing in, and you may breathe in some of those particles.
Good air quality is important for overall health, reducing the risk of respiratory and cardiovascular problems. Breathing clean air can lessen the possibility of stroke, heart disease, lung cancer, as well as chronic and acute respiratory illnesses such as asthma. In light of this, simple precautions like avoiding outdoor activities during high pollution periods or using air purifiers can significantly mitigate the harmful effects of poor air quality. Reporting for QTV News, I am Lena Igwenyiba.
The China-Gambia Alumni Students Association was officially launched on Saturday. The association is established to foster its members' contribution to national development and strengthen China-Gambia's cooperation. QTV's Mamudu Lamin Choi has the rest of the story.
The China-Gambia Alumni Students Association hopes to live up to its motto, which is enriching lives beyond graduation. Members of the association are among the hundreds of Gambians who have benefited from the Chinese government scholarships to pursue higher education at Chinese universities. They are back in their country with a strategic goal. Lamin Caesar is the president of the China-Gambia Alumni Students Association.
We would, among other things, conduct targeted programs and activities designed to impact and improve the lives and livelihoods of our communities. And in doing so, the association will contribute to strengthening the relationship between the People's Republic of China through the Chinese embassy in Banjul and the people and the government of the Gambia. The People's Republic of China today is among the world's largest economies. Therefore, strengthening friendly relations between our two countries can only bring more development to the Gambia.
China-Gambia cooperation cuts across several fields and is aligned with our country's strategic development goals. CDS Kenjai, the Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly, underscores the solid results emerging from China-Gambia cooperation, which, according to him, are highly appreciated and valued by the Gambian people, including President Adama Barrow.
And as a government and as a people, you can serve as not only conduits, but also as advocate for more education, for more scholarship, for more support in the area of agriculture, in the area of education, in the area of infrastructure. Because if Chinese will be able to double up the scholarship that they are giving.
Officials at this event have reported a steady progress in China-Gambia cooperation since the resumption of diplomatic ties in 2015. The Deputy Chinese Ambassador to the Gambia, Chu Ningo, expresses his government's commitment to more development cooperation of the Gambia, especially in the field of human capital development.
According to our statistics, it's estimated that about 300 Gambian students studied in Chinese universities with support of the Chinese government scholarships. Most of them returned to the Gambia to serve the Gambian people and are playing an important role in almost all key sectors.
These Gambians, who are alumni of Chinese universities, return to the country with much-needed professional skills, knowledge and expertise in the fields of science and technology, engineering, health, agriculture, education, and the list goes on. Professor Pierre Gomez is the Minister of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology.
Our citizens have had the opportunity to acquire knowledge and skills in diverse fields. This collaboration has not only empowered individuals, but has also enhanced our nation's overall capabilities, contributing significantly to our growth and development.
The China-Gambia Alumni Students Association was registered in October last year, and members hope to be a friendship bridge in China-Gambia cooperation and agents of transformative development for the Gambia. Mahmoud Lamin Choi, QTV News.
Rosastou International School celebrated its speech and prize-giving ceremony on Saturday and dedicated a newly constructed daycare and nursery school block to the memory of an educationist, the late Aja Ramatulai Seka. Lena Igwenyiwa again.
As it continues to provide quality education, Rosastou International unveiled a block named after the late Aja Ramatulai Seka, a respected educationist and ardent advocate for girls. The newly constructed facility includes a daycare, pre-nursery and nursery 1 and 2. Ndai Jalo, the proprietress of Rosastou International, who collaborated closely with Aja Ramatulai Seka, highlights the impact the late educationist had, justifying the fitting tribute to name the block after her.
Auntie Ramu, or Tanta as she was fondly called by many, in 1973, she obtained a diploma from the University of Oxford in further education with distinction, and in 1978 and 1979, she obtained an advanced diploma and Masters of Education, respectively, from the University of Bristol. Upon her return from her studies, she transferred to the Education Department as an education officer between the years of 1982 and 1989, both in Region 1 and 2, and later promoted to Principal Education Office. After Auntie Ramu's retirement in 1994, she was appointed the founding coordinator of Faraway GAM, that is Forum for African Women Educationists, Gambia Charter. And we sometimes travel throughout the country to sensitize parents to send the girl child to school and allow them to complete schooling and avoid early marriages. She was fearless, strong, and always stands for truth, justice, and honesty. That was Auntie Ramu. Therefore, she had lived a good life which was a great testimony of how we should all live.
Aissatou Seka Ja, daughter of the late Ajara Matulai Seka, joyfully inaugurates the block, expressing heartfelt delight that her mother's vision for education lives on.
My mother was an educationist and she did very well in the sector, and for her to be recognized, it's a big honor for the entire family. And me and my siblings were overjoyed that Auntie Ndeye was able to remember her and recognize her in this school, and we'll make sure that we support the school to get to be remembered for generations to come. And we are glad that her name is living on way after she was gone.
Adam Seka, another of Ajara Matulai Seka's daughters, representing the Seka family, also expressed profound joy and gratitude.
We are really, really elated to have this, to see this. It's really heart-touching, and we appreciate everything. And our mom, like you said, was a good example, and we are fruits of that labor. So I'm sure that you will really strive and ensure that you are really in her footsteps now. And wherever she is, she'll be very proud of you. We are all proud and we're happy.
Ajara Matulai Seka, remembered as fearless and strong, was not only an educationist but also a dedicated promoter of girls' education. This is evident in her 8 daughters who are excelling in various fields following in their mother's footsteps. The newly constructed block will be a nurturing space for children, integrating daycare and nursery facilities to carry forward Ajara Matulai Seka's impactful contributions to education. Reporting for QTV News, I am Lena Igwenyiba.
We will now go for a commercial break. When we return, we have more national and international news stories. Do stay with us.
Modu came in to buy some bathroom floor tile, but once he laid eyes on our basins, he fell in love with a stunning basin and with a breathtaking faucet. With a brand new mirror too, at a bargaining price.
So, I got a bathtub too.
Oh yes, he picked up a bathtub too.
And yes, that's Batimat's Buddy Days. Take advantage of exceptional discounts up to 50% on tiles, sanitary, electrical, and lighting. From February 3rd to 17th, you will be splurging. Batimat.
The future is now. With QCell's 5G network, experience speeds like never before with our new 5G Rocket Fixed Internet plan. Get speeds from 10 Mbps to 100 Mbps. Your 5G-enabled devices. Walk into QCell headquarters to get one of our 5G routers and experience the true feeling of 5G. Only with QCell. QCell brings you the future. Tech, innovation, incredible speed. The future is now. For more information, call our customer care on 111. QCell, Sunyapus. We innovate, others follow. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back. If you're just tuning in, this is QTV Nightly News. 2 female motor mechanics with a female automotive service providers, the Gambia's only female-owned garage, have spoken about their challenges and successes over the years and appeal for more support to be able to train more women in this sector. QTV's Julian Jai met them at their garage in Canifing, and this is her report.
In a world where the mechanics trade has long been male-dominated, women like Fatoumata Jammeh are defying the odds, proving that women can carve a path to success with determination, hard work, and support. In recent years, the automotive sector has seen an increase in the number of female mechanics in the Gambia, thanks to initiative of the female automotive service providers' determination to help other women pursue careers in the automotive sector. Fatoumata Jammeh, founder of the female automotive service providers, highlights some of the achievements registered since the establishment of her organization in 2020.
Since we started, we organize the free maintenance and services to the general public to know our visibility and networking too, to test our expertise. And also we won the STEM award last year. Less than 2 weeks, we won another award, which is male-dominated sectors. And also we have been working with a lot of institutions, but You know, everything is slow, but for us, we have been achieving a lot. And then we have also training from USET coming to do their practical in our garage. At the USET, we have 16 female in the technical. Yeah, in the technical. And also, it doesn't stop only USET. In the Greater Banjul, we established a club.
The female automotive service providers believe that anything a man can do, a woman can do even better when supported. However, despite their efforts to help women in the industry, support is still lacking.
Our main challenge is the garage, because as a female, we want our garage to build it as a standard way, so that we can also train, continuous training for our fellow females, especially people who think that they cannot make in the industry. And also the sustainability disturbs us a lot for females. The reason why I say sustainability, some of their parents could not afford to pay their fare every time, last year and year before last. I was invited by Commonwealth to attend with 2 of my girls. I distribute letters everywhere to attend to represent my country on TVEX. None of them sponsor it.
Madam Jame appeals for more support to help expand her garage so that they can train youths in all the regions of the Gambia.
I'm calling everyone, especially the president himself, First Lady herself, and the ministers that we are in line with, Minister of Youth, Minister of Gender, and Minister of Trade and Works. Let them come in board. There are many ministry vehicles. Where are they? They are all parked in the local garage. We are all students from USET. We just come to make something for our country. We are not asking for money. What we are asking, let them give us contract.
To those who wish to venture in this field, Fatoumata encourages them to be patient and persistent. Senabu Nyang, a trainee at the female automotive service providers for 3 years, says she is inspired by Fatoumata.
First time that I joined, I was just sitting at home, doing nothing. I didn't start classes. I said that let me just come and join Fatoumata. But later on, I was going to classes, coming to the garage, and I loved now the skills. Now I'm doing it very well.
Ms. Nyang says she has never regretted venturing into the job despite the challenges. For QTV News, I am Julde Njai.
We will now shift our attention to news outside the country. There is a growing international concern over the political situation in Senegal following President Macky Sall's cancellation of the presidential election, which was scheduled for February 25th. Since then, there's been a wave of protests by opposition supporters and calls from the international community. And Somana Eso Nyasi has been following developments, and he now reports.
Once regarded as a leading democracy in the region, this once stable nation has been the scene of protest and political contest over the past 2 years. However, Saturday's announcement by President Macky Sall, just hours before the commencement of political rallies for the February 25th election, generated a wave of fresh protests by opposition supporters. The West African bloc ECOWAS issued a statement expressing concern and calling for dialogue, while the United States, the European Union and former colonial power France led appeals for the vote to be rescheduled at the earliest date possible. In a televised address to the nation, President Sall announced the repealing of the decree that had set the electoral process in motion. He cited the dispute between the judiciary and federal lawmakers over the disqualification process of some candidates and the reported dual nationality of some of the qualified candidates. Since 2013, Senegal has allowed nationals to hold dual nationality unless the other country or countries of which they hold citizenship prohibit dual or multiple nationalities. However, opposition leaders argue that the Senegalese leader lacks the power to delay the vote, and the coalition backing Senegalese presidential candidate Khalifa Sall said it was opposed to postponing the February 25th election, as proposed by the Senegalese Democratic Party, whose candidate Karim Wade, a former multiple minister and son of former President Abdoulaye Wade, was excluded from running in January. In a statement, Khalifa Sall's coalition said delaying the vote would undermine the legitimacy of the election and amounts to an institutional coup d'etat. Meanwhile, several opposition leaders, including presidential candidate Anta Babacar Ngom and former Prime Minister Aminata Touré, now a leading opposition figure, were arrested while arriving at one protest. Toure had served as Prime Minister under Sall before joining the opposition and becoming one of his most outspoken critics. Earlier on Sunday, she took to social media calling on people to mobilize to defend their rights. Meanwhile, as the country's parliament meets on Monday to debate a proposal to delay the elections for at least 6 months, the government had begun cracking down on protesters and the media. On Sunday evening, private television channel Wolf had their signal cut and license reportedly revoked as it broadcast the protest live. And the telecom ministry also issued a press release saying access to mobile internet has been suspended due to hateful and subversive messages shared on social media as public order is disturbed. The cracking down on the press had garnered widespread condemnation, especially from press freedom bodies abroad. Among them, the New York-based non-profit Committee to Protect Journalists, in a post on social media platform X, urged Senegalese authorities to ensure that journalists can work without hindrance. Regional bloc ECOWAS, having had to deal with a wave of coups, jihadist-inspired insecurity in the region, is stressing the need for Senegalese politicians to prioritize dialogue and collaboration for transparent, inclusive and credible elections, as well as expedite the various processes to set a new date for the elections. Analysts say the crisis is putting to the test the country is still regarded as one of Africa's most stable democracies and one that has never had a coup at a time when the region is struggling with a recent surge in coups. Antoine Nyase for KTV News.
Namibia's president, 82-year-old Hage Geingob, died in the early hours of Sunday, weeks after he was diagnosed with cancer. Gina Bosonko has more.
A social media post on X from the presidency a few weeks ago highlighted that President Hage Geingob had traveled to the United States for a 2-day novel treatment for cancerous cells. After being diagnosed following a regular medical checkup, he subsequently returned home. In a televised address on national TV on Sunday, Vice President Dr. Nangolo Mumba announced the news.
Fellow Namibians, Dr. Hage G. Geingob, the President of the Republic of Namibia, has passed on today, Sunday, 4 February 2024, at about 00 hours 04 at Lady Pohamba Hospital.
Born in 1941, Geingob was a prominent politician even before Namibia achieved independence from the white majority-ruled South Africa in 1990. He was his country's first prime minister from independence to 2002. He again served as prime minister from 2012 to 2015 when he was elected president. Between 2008 and 2012, Geingob served as Minister of Trade and Industry, also served as president of the ruling SWAPO party from 2017 until his death. Among Geingob's most laudable achievements is a gender-aware policy, which elevated the country of 2.8 million people into the league of countries with the highest proportion of women in leading political offices. Hage Geingob's health had been long a matter of concern to his compatriots, and at the height of the COVID-19 pandemic, he explains why he had been slow to take the anti-coronavirus vaccine.
I was ready, but I have doctors, as I said. They tested me and say, given my age, which I'm older than you, as you know, and also my conditions like high blood pressure and so on, that I can get this type of medicine.
Namibia was already scheduled to hold presidential and legislative elections this year, with Geingob announcing that his political party, Southwest Africa People's Organization, would put forward Deputy Prime Minister Netumbo Nandi Ndaitwah as its presidential candidate on X, formerly Twitter. Nandi Ndaitwah described Geingob as a true democrat and a transformational leader who touched many lives. South African President Cyril Ramaphosa described Geingob as a towering veteran of Namibia's liberation from colonialism and apartheid. He was also greatly influential in the solidarity that the people of Namibia extended to the people of South Africa so that we could be free today. A string of dignitaries, both national and international, have been paying their respects and offering condolences to the late president's widow, family and the nation, and the signing of the Book of Condolence at State House. Dr. Nangolo Mumba was sworn in as the 4th Vice President of Namibia following the passing of His Excellency Dr. Hage Geingob. Dr. Mumba, who was Vice President, will lead the country until 21st March 2025. Reporting for QTV News, I am Jenna Bosonko.
Before we end this bulletin, here's a recap of the headlines. Following alerts about dust causing poor air quality in Kanifing Municipality and the West Coast region, public health authorities have issued preventive notices to the public, especially those with health issues. The China-Gambia Alumni Students Association was officially launched on Saturday to strengthen China-Gambia cooperation. Rosastou International School celebrated its speech and prize-giving ceremony on Saturday and dedicated a newly constructed daycare and nursery school block to the memory of a Gambian educationist. In international news, Senegal's President Macky Sall had announced the postponement of this month's presidential election. Namibia's president, 82-year-old Hage Geingob, died in the early hours of Sunday, weeks after he was diagnosed with cancer. That's all we have for you in this bulletin. Join us at 10 p.m. for another news bulletin. Thanks for watching.